Hello, my dear friends. I just did a poll on Twitter asking the question, how high do you estimate the chance that the crypto market cap will go to 160 billion? We're now at 260, and or that we will get an undervaluation of 55% on the Trololo short compared to the trend line. And have to watch out because I'm in a danger zone. Do you see that? Do you see these boys? Huh? Only 16% voted for what is, in my opinion, the right answer. And the right answer is 60% minimum, or more. I gave the choice to vote for between 0% and 20% or 30%. Yeah, 0% and 30% had the highest vote. It was about 40% of voters voted for that. So they estimate that the chance is below 30%, so below 1 in 3, that we will go down to 160 billion before we have another boom. I don't think that's a realistic estimate, because if something has always happened in the past, which is the case, 55% undervaluation to the Trololo short would mean that we just have a higher low in undervaluation, because we already had 50% undervaluation when it dropped to 3,150 for Bitcoin core, and a total market cap of 110 billion in December of 2018, over half a year ago now. The undervaluation went to 50% compared to the trend line. So the trend line was about at 220 billion then. We're now 10 months further, and the trend line has gone up to 330 billion or so. 300 billion. But we will likely get a higher high in undervaluation. That doesn't mean, of course, a higher low, a new bottom, a new fiat bottom. No, because 160 billion is a lot higher than the last fiat bottom we saw at 110 billion. It's about 50% higher. Yet, the majority of voters believes that we will not hit that anymore, 160 billion. That there is only a chance between 0% and 30%, so on average they vote about 15% chance, so 1 in 10 chance that that will happen. It's very low. It even happened in the bear market of 2011 that we got a higher high in undervaluation. You see the trend line in front of you. Look my previous video about 160 billion likely to be reached. You can see it clearly there that a higher high in undervaluation or a higher low it has happened always, even in 2011. So of course, if it always has happened, what is the chance? If it always has happened in the past, that it happens again? Can you say 50%? Is that a reasonable estimate? Well, 50% is a toss-up. It's like flipping a coin. Is that a realistic estimate? That if it always happened in the past, and you flip, that it only has a 50% chance to happen again? So it's a coin flip? No, it's not a coin flip. And because past patterns are more likely to repeat than not. This is a fundamental concept in the world of investing. If you invest, if you don't understand that past patterns are more likely to repeat than not, that means it's a higher probability than a coin flip, well, you're missing crucial insights, and you're missing out, because it really is very, very helpful. If you know that, you can make much better decisions, because it's true. Just study historical charts, and you will see that patterns of the past often repeat. So I'm surprised to see that my followers vote, in my opinion, very wrong on this. People that follow my work on Twitter. The lowest vote is for the correct number, at 16%. Only 16% of the voters, but yeah, 30% didn't vote, so if you exclude those, maybe it's 25% of all voters. So 1 in 4 got it right, 3 in 4 got it wrong. Because if you estimate between the option B was between 30 and 60%, well, that's also not correct, because the average of 30 and 60% is 45%. So actually you estimate the chance lower than a coin flip, lower than 50% that it will happen again. That's wrong. Of course, some people that think it's like 59% also voted option B, and I would say that they are, of course, much closer to being right. But I mean, I think it's important to estimate modestly. If your financial interest is in seeing a correction, as is the case with me, I'm not invested the majority in crypto yet, only 35% today. It is in my financial interest that things go down, so I'm biased in that direction. My thinking is biased, so I have to estimate probabilities modestly, and that means that for a correction to happen, a modest estimate is 60%. Is it a realistic estimate? Yes, for sure, it's realistic. Is it higher? Can you make a strong case it's higher? Yes, you can make a strong case it's higher than 60%. If it always happened in the past, the chances are not 60%, it's higher. It's 70%, 80%. You can even make the case for 90%. So that's where we are. Of course, I remember some past polls that I talked about in the past few months. For example, how much should you allocate? If it's like a 50% chance that you will make 100x, and a 50% chance that you lose it all. According to the Kelly Criterion, you should invest 49% to be exact. That's the most optimal bet size to have the most optimal returns, the highest returns. But of course, it's all going to be volatile. You could do half Kelly also in that case, and that would be 25%. But there too, the majority got it wrong. The majority would bet too little or too much. Like only a few would invest between 25 and 50%, but the majority would invest between below 10% or above 50%. So either too little or too much, and so they would stay poor or they would become broke. Scientifically proven. But if you saw my previous video, I implemented and I also said that these are the odds that we have in crypto, so this is what you should be investing. But if you saw my last video, you see that actually that were not correctly estimated odds of mine. When you look at crypto now, it's different. It's not a 50-50 to lose it all or to do 100x. No, right now it's actually an 80% chance you're gonna lose not everything, but that you're gonna lose 20% in crypto, because in my estimation, my God, oh, Jesus, my God. Oh, I thought I was a monkey or a reptile or a oh my God. So yeah, I think the odds are 80% chance we see a modest correction of only 20%. We go to 7,500 for Bitcoin core. We go to about 200 billion for the total market cap. We're now at 255. Yes, it's an 80% chance we do such a correction, considering where we are. Like, considering Bitcoin core went up from 3,000 to 14,000 in 6 months' time. While even if the bull market has started in history, a 50% correction always happened after such a strong rise, or almost always. So it's an 80% chance we will get it again, a 50% correction to 7,500 to 7,000. So these are the odds, and in that case, actually, Kelly recommends to invest only 20%. So there's only a 20% chance we won't reach to 7,500, and it goes straight into a bull market, strong bull market. We don't reach that price again. We continue to go up. We do make corrections, but we don't correct to there anymore. And so you miss out on a 70 multiplier from today. If it goes to 10 trillion or so, Bitcoin over the next year, 2 years, sorry, all cryptos together. In that, with those odds, Kelly recommends to invest actually not 50%, but only 20%. And so that means that most of the voters actually that I thought were wrong, that invested too little, were actually correct. So I'm sorry for that. If Kelly says so, I bow. And so yeah, according to the Kelly Criterion, being invested with only 20% today, and if you do half Kelly, that would be 10%, makes financial sense. But at the same time, Kelly recommends to invest a lot more if we do make corrections, because yeah, look at my sheet in the previous video, it's linked. But yeah, I think 80% chance we go to 7,500, but then after that 60% chance that we go to 5,000 for Bitcoin, and to 60% chance we go to 160 billion. It's about 5,500 for Bitcoin core. And then the Kelly Criterion recommends to invest not 20% but 40%, because then there is 60% chance we go lower once we reach 7,500 Bitcoin core. There is still 60% chance we go lower, but there is also 40% chance we won't, and we go up into the next boom, and so you miss out trying to buy cheaper. So it goes up very quickly, the recommended allocation to invest in crypto, and this can all go very fast over the next month. If we do see it collapse, it can all play out very fast. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a great day.